I'm going to show you the top 3 services, in my opinion, that I think are the easiest to sell and get in the sort of door with small businesses inside of the HighLevel software platform. Now, there are lots of features inside of HighLevel, and when people join, one of the first things that they do is they start looking at all the features, thinking that they have to master and understand everything in order to get started. That's a fallacy. I just want to let you know that if you do want to sign up for HighLevel, only focus, on the things that I'm talking about here right now. You don't need to know everything to start a successful business. There are people who have 7-figure agencies and have lots of clients that only focus on a very small percentage of features inside of the HighLevel software platform. I'm just going to show you a few things that you need to know, and you can easily look at these and study them and learn from, again, other videos on my YouTube channel and master these skills literally in just simply hours at the most. All it takes is practice, and then once you practice, you're going to eventually end up building a snapshot, which is just a container of all of these custom objects that you've built. And then that way, when you get a customer, you could just deploy all these objects and not have to build them every single time that you actually create a new client. So let me hop over to my computer and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the very first one here is probably not the most super exciting, and that is building websites for small businesses. Now, one of the biggest problems that you see, and you can do this, by the way, load up Google Maps, just go and search for any business, any home service, anybody, simply go through and look, and it'll actually show you if they actually have a website. There'll be a website button on the link. Just simply search for those people who have them. If they don't have them, then you can simply build them a website and offer it to them for free. And even if they already have a website, it could be outdated. But one of the things that small businesses really want is they want an IT partner. They don't want to have to do this themselves. They don't want to sit back and have to pay exorbitantly thousands and thousands of dollars just to go get their website done when they're thinking the website alone doesn't bring any value, doesn't bring any customers to the business. This is where you could say that might be true, but this is why we also include an additional service where we can actually put an AI chatbot on that particular website. And then now it becomes a lot more functional. Now it is a lead-driven machine. And I'm going to get into the AI services here in just a minute. That's the last service that I'm going to be covering here in our series. But here, a website is just a good way to get in the door because you can easily use the AI tools inside of HighLevel to build websites very cheaply, very inexpensively, send links to small businesses saying, hey, I built you a website. Take a look at it here. If this is something that you want, I can give it to you for free. Now, you might give them the website for free, but what you're offering them is the ability to host and maintain their website for at least a minimum of $97 a month. So this way, this is one way to, again, to get your foot in the door. Jimmy's an example I've used in some of my other videos where I've just said, hey, we're going to build Jimmy a website and then start building up an AI bot and AI conversation and everything. So I'm going to be using Jimmy's Electric as a company basis throughout all of these examples I'm going to be using today. Now, to make things easier, we're actually going to be using a new tool inside of HighLevel called AI Studio. Now, AI Studio is actually what they call a vibe coder, and it's just a way of just simply telling AI what it is that you want to build and let AI build it and completely build it for you. Now, what I'm going to show you here is I'm not a master prompt builder, by the way. I'm really not. But what I want to do, and inside of this video, if you take a look here, I'm going to offer to give you this. And I'm going to show you what you can do. This right here is just a simple script that you can give to ChatGPT. Because what you want to do is you want to tell ChatGPT, here is what I want to do. I want you to build a full script over what I want to build on the website. That's a lot more detailed, so you don't have to create it. And then you copy and paste that code from ChatGPT inside of AI Studio to actually build the website. So this is just simply a prompt. It says create a reusable prompt. But what you do is whenever you put this into ChatGPT, I'm going to simply minimize this. And what you're going to end up getting is something that looks like this. Now, what it is, I want to create a generic website building tool, which is what this prompt is. This is a prompt that you would actually use inside of AI Studio to actually build a particular site. But what I want to do here is I want to blow up a little bit. This right here is the key. Right here, I've got placeholders for just different things. So company name, business type, industry. This is where I used electrician business. So that's what I used in this example. I'm just trying to give you something to be able to get started and show you how cool and basically how quickly you can build a website inside of HighLevel, offer it to somebody, and at least get them in the door by offering them a free website, where now in turn, you can simply start collecting $97 a month for maintaining the website. and then start selling them some of the other services that I'm going to talk about here in just a few minutes. So right now, all it is, you're just going to simply do the find and replace here on this and replace company name with the name of the company, business type with type, and just you get the point. So this right here is where you get to, and eventually this is where the finished product. So I went ahead and already did this just to let you know, because the AI Studio is not necessarily the fastest tool, okay? Especially when you're doing video presentations. The website I'm going to show you probably took about 10 minutes to run and build inside of AI Studio, and I just don't want to sit back and have you guys waiting that long. I'd like to move on to the next business model inside of HighLevel. But if you were to replace that prompt, this is what you get. Jimmy's Electric, here's the industry, electrical, electrician business. Here's the address, phone number, all of this information right here. Jimmy's Electric, here's the website, what type of company services, licensed electrician services, what style and tone. I put professional business, depending on where you're at. You might put fun, you might put relax, just tell it what kind of tone you want, playful, or do you want luxurious, something like that. This right here goes back to if you have a website for a really premium business, and you might want to make it a little bit more polished and glossy. But at least I wanted to give you something to be able to use inside of HighLevel to start building and seeing how this works without having to do it yourself. So now that I've kind of shown you that, I'm going to show you, this is the electric website that it built. So I put that prompt in here, hit enter. It took about 10 minutes to do this. And once you actually build this, you do have to come up here to the top and publish it to get it to be able to sit back and view it and things like that. But let's take a look and just see what this site looks like. So here's the site. It actually created this logo all by itself. It created all the navigation, the call now button, schedule service. So all the main things that you need are right above the fold. It looks nice and professional. Our scale electrician services, trusted. I made up the address in Orlando, Florida, but why choose Jimmy's Electric? Here's some of the professional things. And we didn't have to do any of this. This was automatically generated in about 10 minutes. Here's the request service form. Here's all the buttons for information. Now, one of the things that I didn't include on here is social media type stuff. That's actually in the prompt that I'm giving you, where it asks for, you could put Facebook URL, you could put this, and then whenever you put that in there, then you'll be able to create social media links on the header and footer or whatever to link to the social media, if that's what you want. If not, you don't have to include that. But this right here is something that, again, if you take the prompt, do ChatGPT, you could do that within a minute. It'll spit out another prompt. Copy that inside of HighLevel, inside the AI Studio prompt builder. Over here, just simply copy paste. And I actually did it here. If I go back just here on the main screen, I copied and pasted it. Boom, 10 minutes later, this thing came out. And this is something that you could, once you publish, now you actually have a URL. You could take this URL right here and send it to Jimmy's Electric saying, hey, Jimmy, I noticed on your Google business profile, you didn't have a website. And I just want to let you know that Google really does lower your status in the rankings if you don't have a website, because they feel that's unprofessional. So right now I built you a website and I can give this to you for free. Let me know if this is something that you're interested in. And you can send this to him and he sits back and goes, wow, this thing is pretty cool. You click on call. It actually calls the phone number that you would get inside of the Google business listing, because that's where you would get all the information to fill in for company name, address, and phone number, website. But this right here is just something that you could do, send to people to get your foot in the door. Okay. And you could do this again, 10, 20 times a day, and just simply prospect and find local businesses that don't have websites. One of those people are going to respond. You can get them engaged, $97 a month. And then once you actually get them engaged, then you can start looking to sell them on additional services. So again, website is a good way to get in your door. Now, here's another one. Besides, if you're not that great with doing this, you can come down over here on the left-hand side to sites and go to the website area. And you could just build a website inside of HighLevel. If you don't want to use the vibe coder, and if you don't want to do that, you'd much rather build it yourself, you could just simply click on new website. Here you can start from scratch. I'd much rather you just use a template. But from the template, you can just simply come up here. HighLevel has hundreds of templates that you can build inside of here. All you have to do is, if you're looking for plumber, hit enter. There's a couple of plumbers. If you're looking for electrician, here's the electrical. So these are all website templates, and they give you multiple pages that are all built out. Now you do have to sit back and customize these. Afterwards, you have to put in Jimmy's Electric and you have to customize some of the information. But if you just even wanted to use it, these templates are good enough to simply give people an idea of the cool website that they have. And these are, again, just as fast to get built as the AI Studio is. even though I think AI Studio gives a more, if you use the more detailed prompt, it does give you a more detailed website, a little bit more polished, if that makes sense. And you don't have to do anything. For the most part, if we really want to sell Jimmy's Electric, that particular website, we could just sell them the one right off the bat. So this right here is, again, a good way to kind of get in the door. And then once they actually have a website, you're providing services for them. This is where you can then start selling them some of your next services. Now, the next service that I was looking for is, I'll just lead into AI services. So AI services inside of it, what does that mean? HighLevel has something called AI Employee. Now, AI Employee covers many different things, but one of the main features that HighLevel offers is something called Voice AI. Now, Voice AI is something that can actually answer inbound calls and make outbound calls if you want to, but the biggest thing is being able to respond to inbound calls and be able to answer them 24/7, have the AI agent programmed with all the information that they would need for that particular industry, in this case for electrician, and for that case, be able to answer questions and even book appointments directly while people are calling in without having to have a receptionist, without having to have Jimmy do any work, because Jimmy's out in the field running, doing service calls, making money. And that's where Jimmy's needs to be in order to make his revenue. He needs to be making service calls and not sitting in his truck out there returning 10 phone calls and not moving on to his next appointment. So that right there is one of the main benefits that HighLevel offers. And you can simply come in here to AI agents on the left-hand side. You can just simply come up here to Voice AI agents. Now, keep in mind, there's a lot of other features inside of this AI component. I'm not going to go into detail. I just want to kind of go real quick on a high level of just, no pun intended there, but just wanted to go real quick. And if you're interested, specifically in the AI side, there's actually a free course I offer that's in the description. I don't try to upsell you anything. There's no selling in these particular videos. I'm simply trying to help you out. Now, what's in it for me? If a lot of people always ask that, I want to help people, but eventually, if you want to use HighLevel and you want to sign up, I would just appreciate it if you can use my link in the video description below. You do get 30 days free. And when you sign up, I actually get credit for it and it helps me out. That's it. So I feel like if I help you out, you can in return help me out, maybe, if you feel like it. So please take advantage of the resources that I have and just make sure that you get the training before you actually sign up, because it gives you an idea of what business, what you could price it at, things like that before you actually even get started. So when you do sign up, you can hit the ground running. So back to the AI agent list here. If we go to Voice AI in the agent list, now I already have one configured because I use this in another example. So this is already pre-configured, but if I didn't want to do this, if I wanted to start from scratch, I would just simply come up here to go click Create Agent. Now I could browse the marketplace, and here's pretty cool. It's pretty cool because the marketplace is actually a place where other people who have already developed agents for Voice AI push things that your industry may already need. So they've already built and tested certain prompts and things like that they want to give away for free to other people for you to be able to use. So if you don't want to start from scratch, so you can browse the marketplace, which is what I did, and I'm going to show you that. You can go here and create a custom agent, which means you start from scratch and create it, which, by the way, you don't ever need to do this. All you have to do is copy in from my account into your account after you get signed up, and you're ready to go in less than a day to start your own AI agency. And I actually have components specifically built for clients that has all this, that makes their setting up of their account much faster. You can easily get their account set up within an hour, up and going, and start making money immediately. So just to let you know, I'm just showing you how easy it is to actually get this created, but you can start from scratch, or you can use the more advanced flow-based. Now, that right there is really for more in-depth integrations into third-party systems and stuff like that. I'm just going to show you how you can browse the marketplace. Now it's going to pull up the marketplace here. You can just simply search for your particular industry. And again, if you're dealing with plumbing, they have Voice AI agents for, if you take a look here, plumbing expert services, AI home services assistant. So if we're doing electrician, this is the one that I actually installed. So if you click on this, notice that it says uninstalled. It's already been put into my account. But all you have to do is just simply come up here and click on the install, and that component, it takes 30 seconds to a minute, gets installed, and next thing you know, you have this nice Voice AI agent, which, by the way, I changed nothing here. This is the default that we actually have. And now you have an agent that can answer the phone for a small business right away. Now, I want to show you how this works. So hold on there with me. I built this website here using a template, this just electrician. I didn't change anything. This is exactly the way I left it. The only thing I did is I went through and actually created an AI chatbot and actually had that chatbot added here to this particular page. So now if you take a look here, let me see if I can move myself over a little bit here. So right now, if you click on this, now you get this nice, now I've created this, there's multiple different chat widgets that you can create, but I like the one, it's called a talking website. So I can actually sit back and make a call, and I want to do that here. So right now, this right here is pretty straightforward to get added, and I'll show this to you here in a minute. Let me turn up my volume here a little bit, and let's just sit back and make a call out. Keep in mind, I downloaded that agent. That took about a minute. The website chat widget, that would be about a minute. Let's just say another minute to go through the website and add it to the website. And I'm going to show you this here. I just wanted to show you the final product, but this is something that if Jimmy wanted to sign up with a website, and you could do this, by the way, you could add this component to the same AI Studio website that we saw earlier if you wanted to. It doesn't necessarily have to be here. You can combine these components together because everything inside of HighLevel works with other things. That's the way it's built. So let's just take a look here. And again, I changed nothing. I didn't customize anything. This is just by the default. So let's take a look.
Hi, and welcome to Jimmy's Electric. I'm here to help you with your electrician needs. How can I help you today?
Yes, my air conditioner is not working. The circuit breakers keep tripping. They're hot too.
Thanks for letting me know. That definitely sounds frustrating, and it's important to get it checked out soon. Can I have your name, please?
Sure, my name is Ray O'Daniel.
Thank you, Ray. Just to confirm, your name is RAYO_DANIEL. Is that correct? Could you please provide your email address so we can send you the booking confirmation and any follow-up details?
Sure, it's ray@gmail.com.
Thank you. So that's ray@gmail.com. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Perfect. Thanks for confirming. Could you share the address where you need the electrical service? 123 Main Street, Orlando, Florida. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Ray. You mentioned earlier that your air conditioner isn't working and the circuit breaker keeps tripping and feels hot. Is that right? Could you tell me if this started recently or has it been happening for a while?
Nope, it just started happening today. I need to get it fixed ASAP.
Since this just started today and it sounds urgent, let me check what appointment slots we have available for you. I'm sorry, but it looks like we don't have any open appointment slots showing right now. A team member will give you a call shortly to help arrange the earliest possible.
Typically at that particular point, it would have, of course, there's going to be times available, but it's going to sit back and say, hey, we've got these time slots available, these times, which one's better? And it will finalize the booking. And once it gets finalized at that point, then you get the reminders that get sent out to you automatically through the automations inside of HighLevel. So I just want to show you, you get this cool tool that solves a major business problem. And it took less than 10 minutes to get set up and configured. And you could do this very quickly and easily for customers when you're doing prospecting to show them how it actually works. Now, me, myself, inside of here, I actually have a demo site on mine built where it's a demo company. It's a fake company. I have a fake phone number that you can call, and it says it's for demonstration purposes only so that people can go through and actually see what it's like, use their own email address, use their own phone number whenever they call. That way, the system can send them a text. It can send them an email just giving them a confirmation on their appointment that's being booked so they could see it. And all of that happens in real time. So they can actually see, hey, this is the same system I can put in for you. So right now, it looks like I didn't have a calendar set up, but again, that's something that could be very easily fixed. Here on the chat widget, all we have to do is just simply come here and click on new. We use the Voice AI chat widget, so I can click on Voice AI. If I wanted to customize something, I could. Notice I customized the color. I changed the color on that one. On the other one, from blue, I can change the name here. I can do a bunch of different things. The only thing I need to make sure I come here and do is make sure I connect the agent to the correct Voice AI agent that I want to get set up. And whenever I do that, I simply click save, and that's it. That's how easy it is to get the AI chat widget set up. And then to get it configured, you would come back to websites. You would simply click on the website that you use to create the template. You would come into settings, and you would simply come here and just select the drop-down list, and you could choose chat widget 1, chat widget 2, or whichever one you created, and then click save. So notice none of this involved, except for the AI Studio, us building a prompt, us using AI, me doing any coding, me had to be an IT expert. None of this stuff. All you have to do is just simply understand the components that you need to learn inside of HighLevel and implement them. And you can easily set these people up. And this right here is a $500 to $700 a month service because it solves a critical business problem. This solves the problem of having small businesses not lose their new customers. And as a result of that, they're making more money. Now, I always like to give these statistics because these are important whenever you're speaking to clients. One of them is 62% of all inbound calls to small businesses go unanswered. That's a national statistic. 62% go unanswered. Now that's crazy. That's a lot of customers that you're missing. Now, let me give you another statistic. 73% of all customers that call will go with the first company that answers the phone. So all you have to do is just simply have someone, an AI receptionist in this case, or an AI system, answer the phone, just like we saw. That was professional. That sounded good. It was responsive. It asked for information, and the calendar was set up right. It would have booked the appointment, and everything would have gone out. Now, in that particular case, that right there is all you need to attract 73% of the people that are calling you. Now, all you have to do is just simply go back to what I said in the very beginning, maybe about their Google business profile, get that fixed, maybe get that tuned a little bit better. And once you do that, and now they're getting more customers from Google. You put a website on their Google business profile. Now they rank higher. And of course, one of the other things that you could do, which is the next topic I'm going to be discussing, is how to increase their Google reviews. The more Google reviews they get, the more their listing becomes higher and higher in the rankings. So that means the more leads they get, because they show up maybe on the 3-pack or at least pretty close if somebody doesn't choose somebody in that area. But you answer the phone, and let's just say that a company gets 10 calls a day to make the numbers easy. 10 calls a day, on average, if it's correct, 73%, so 7 out of 10 people will book an appointment, will go with the company, even if they're not the best or the cheapest. They will go with that company simply because they answer the phone and they could book an appointment. So this is where the AI services really pays off. 7 new appointments every single day. And I know personally, if you're dealing with home services, customers are worth easily $1,000 to $2,000 a piece over sort of the customer lifetime. Sometimes they're a little bit more, but customers are worth a lot of money in home services, plumbers, electricians, heating and cooling, roofing, things like that. Especially in roofing, a customer could be worth $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on a job. So that right there is pretty pricey to lose those customers by just simply not answering the phone and having that person call the next person on the list. So these are numbers that I want to give you so that you can use them whenever you're speaking to business owners and just saying, hey, if you don't believe me, look it up. Just simply look up the statistics. These are the numbers that you're losing. And one of the cool things is once they're actually inside of HighLevel, if they choose to go with you, now you can start tracking things like how many calls they get, how many website visitors do they have, how many appointments did they book from those calls. Now they've got something that they can actually start measuring, and they're making more money. They're becoming more efficient, and they're going to literally be thanking you for charging them $500 when they're making $10,000 in additional revenue every single month. $500 is nothing when they're making that kind of money. Just think about this. Think if somebody came up and sold you a lottery ticket. You're going to pay $500 for this lottery ticket. It's a scratch off. But hey, here's the cool thing. No matter what happens, worst case, you'll break even. But the best case is that you'll make $5,000, $10,000 off the scratch off. Would you pay $500 for that lottery ticket every month? I'm going to have to say yes, because that's an obvious. I would pay that much if I couldn't lose, or definitely had a greater potential of making more money by scratching it off. So again, the same thing with AI services and small businesses. So this is what you're offering them. Now, this right here, again, is quick setup. There are other components of AI that I go more in depth on some of the other videos on my YouTube channel. I would advise you to check them out. Just search for AI on my YouTube channel, and it comes up with a bunch of different things. But these right here are quick wins that you can get in and get set up and show people how it works right away. Now, I'm going to hop into the next part. The next part I was going to look at is the actual Google reviews. And I'm going to hop in here because I want to show you one thing that actually goes back to what I was just talking about. And I want to show you just how these automations, we call them workflows inside of HighLevel, are built to help you out with calendaring and appointment scheduling. So if we take a look here, I've got a few of them built. But notice right here, there's appointment confirmation and reminder. I'm going to open this up. Now, this is a template. Okay. This is the automation. Okay. And this is what happens. Somebody comes and calls the AI. Okay. Or they go to the website and then they go to the chatbot, and then the chatbot books a call like we just talked about. When that happens, this trigger fires. This right here is an appointment booking. So whenever an appointment is booked inside of this particular calendar that you're dealing with, then what happens? First thing, they get a confirmation email. Hey, confirm your appointment. This is the date. This is the time. This is the killer. If you're ever out speaking to somebody and they do this in real time, they will get this email like a minute later. They'll get a text message to their phone with the same text confirmation if you wanted to. All of this is happening pretty quickly. So that's awesome. So they get this right away. 24 hours before the appointment, this is a wait step. So they're in the holding pattern. If they're a couple of days out or a week out, they stay inside of this workflow until 24 hours before their appointment. Then you get a 24-hour email, and you can add a text message here if you wanted to, but it's not necessary, but just send them an email. Then you get 1 hour before the appointment, another email reminder. And then you get a 1 hour reminder SMS just to make sure that they can understand that you're going to be out there and getting this done. Now, I put this in here, it waits 5 minutes, and then this right here is a 5 minute reminder. You can keep this in here if you wanted to, but this right here is just to make sure that people understand that you're on your way, to make sure that they're there so you don't have any no-shows. That's the whole point. Now, here's what I've added, and I'm going to come back to when we talk about the Google reviews. It's not that hard to get Google review automation set up if they're using HighLevel, because everything's already built in here. So let's just say you've got this example. The business is not very good with asking people for reviews. They're just not. So some of the things that you can do here, and I actually didn't set this up, but one of the cool things that HighLevel has is down here, they've got an area called reputation. So right now, if you come over here, there's an area for reputation that you're going to click on. And then once you're inside this reputations area, you have all of these different options. Now, again, keep in mind that HighLevel connects to your Google business profile. And as such, it can pull in and has access to all of your reviews. So it knows whenever you get a new review, those reviews show up, and it's like a little mini dashboard. Unfortunately, I don't have a live thing. This is just a test account that I could show that with, but this is what you would see. Here, you would see a dashboard of how many new reviews you get, things like that. You can send requests out manually. We're going to look at the automated way of doing that. Video testimonials, this is pretty cool. You can actually get video testimonials. This is something that's only built into HighLevel though. So video testimonials are built into HighLevel. They don't go through Google, but if you wanted to, you could get some and upload them here into your video testimonials. And there's actually a component inside of the website that allows you to pull those video testimonials directly on your website very quickly and easily. So you don't have to do anything. Now there's also this thing called widgets, what is a widget? It's just one of those things. If you ever see a testimonial area on your website where it pulls in all of your Google business profiles and shows people, that's what a widget is. Now, typically, you'd have to pay for this. People that didn't have this before, you'd have to go pay somebody probably about $20 a month to use their widget, connect it to your account just to show your testimonials live, meaning you get a new 5-star review. That review now shows up immediately on your website testimonial. So there's no update. It's an immediate update, and all of it's done through HighLevel. Now, if you go through listings, this is just a way to improve search engine optimization. So this is a way of pushing all of their business information to all of the other online directories to improve SEO if you wanted to. That's a third-party service that you could charge and make money for. But the biggest thing is right here inside of settings. This is where you can simply set up Reviews AI. This kind of goes back to the AI system, where if you wanted to, you could include Reviews AI inside of the AI package that you build. Or you might say, no, Reviews AI is really just going to be a component of the Google review or the reputation management services you have, whatever you want to call it. So this is where you come in and configure everything to automatically respond to reviews. So right now, this is pretty cool of what you can do here. But one of the cool things here is generating reviews QR, the QR codes. So HighLevel has integrated QR codes directly in here. And I go back to this because this is something that you can help the business out with on things that they do every day, the custom Google link that people can click on and leave a review. Now, when they do that, you can actually create a QR code, give that to them, have them go to some place like Vistaprint or something like that, prints business cards online and creates just, please leave us a review. These are just cards that the technician or the owner can leave behind with the invoice. Or if you wanted to, you could put it on a magnet so they could put it on their fridge. But this is just a QR code where they could just simply scan it on their phone. Boom. Next thing you know, they can leave you a 5-star review. You could put on easy to leave cards if they don't give you a Google review. So that's something a technician can do. And that's just a part of changing the operating procedure of how they work. Before you leave, make sure you leave a card, ask for a review. That's the key. So then you can also include the QR code on the invoice. So if you use QuickBooks or something like that, you could take the image and actually put that image somewhere on your invoice and just leave a note, leave a Google review. So if they get the electronic version of the invoice, they can simply scan it there if they wanted to. But assuming that they're sit back and they're using HighLevel, they're going to be using the calendaring feature over here to book their service calls. We already showed you how Voice AI can connect to it, but again, just showing that it does work. Moving on, but let's just say you booked an appointment. Once the appointment is booked, then this automation would kick off here. And now I'm going to go back and show you just how easy you can do this. So again, this is a template inside of HighLevel. I already showed you the steps for this. So this is what's going to happen. But what I failed to show you is down here at the end, what you're going to do is you're going to sit back and say, after the 5 minutes is up, wait 90 minutes, or if you wanted to, you could say 2 hours, 120 minutes, and then add them to the Google review automation. So after every appointment, once they're done, you're going to wait a couple hours and then add them to a different automation. So let me show you what that is. So here, this is where the Google review automation. Now, this is simple. This is not brain surgery. You don't even have to build it, but I'm just trying to show you how simple it is. You don't need any trigger to trigger this because the appointment calendar we just saw adds them to this workflow automatically. So as soon as their appointment is done, you're assuming 2 hours later they're finished, and then you can send them an SMS message. This right here is just a simple text message, just, hey, it adds the contact's first name, asks for a review. This SMS goes out right away. Then you get an email to follow up with that. So here's your email response down here. Now it's best just to use plain text for this because it goes across and gets read more. So it's going to ask one time, 2 hours afterwards. It's going to sit back and wait 2 days because you don't want to bug them. Hit them up every day. So wait 2 days and then send out a follow-up email that just says, hey, quick reminder about the Google review. And then that right there is where you simply remind them. And then that right there is your process for automating Google reviews. And it works very well. There's even more. Now this works. This is just a couple workflows that you can have implemented that automatically adds Google reviews. You would then go into the reviews AI I showed you. You would configure that to respond to the reviews once you get them. So literally now you're not asking, you're following up with the customer after the appointment, and you're following up and answering the reviews at a certain period whenever they leave a review. So literally the Google review process is completely unmanned by anybody in the company. It just happens automatically. If you're a service business, specifically if you're a massage spa or where people come in and do stuff inside of your business, having this QR code at the front checkout is critical and key. You definitely want to have a little placard built with, please leave us a Google review, scan right here, boom. They scan it on their phone, and then while you're being checked out, you could say, have you ever left us a Google review? Well, we would just ask if you please do, or something like that. You can simply do that, and it's very helpful on checkout. Now, one of the things that a lot of people don't do, and you can do, is something called database reactivation. I know it sounds technical, but all it means is that when you implement this, you're moving forward getting reviews for current customers. But what about the customers you've already serviced last month, 3 months ago, a year ago, or something like that? Maybe they haven't needed your services right now, but they're still a customer. And those customers are still inside of your client's CRM or database. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to send them a follow-up message and say, hey, ask them for a review? So now you can attack and automate the new people coming in, but you can also spend potentially hundreds or even thousands of other customers inside of the database. You can now email them and start getting reviews from those people as well. So right now, the only thing I would have to keep in mind, and please don't do this, some companies have, and it's hurt them. If you're doing the database reactivation, do not highlight everybody in the database and send them all in there at one time. Do not do that. Because what happens is Google is obviously smart. They're going to sit back and say, these people only get one review a month. So just simply, this is the cool thing about this. You can implement this database reactivation campaign. And this right here, if you take a look here, or is it this right here? Again, very similar one. All you're doing is just simply taking maybe 50 customers a week. So 50 customers a week, you're manually adding them to this particular workflow. Text is pretty cool if the service call was the same day. That seems pretty cool. But if the service call was 3 months ago and you're sending them a text for a review, it can kind of seem intrusive. So this is where emails would be better. So again, I'm only doing 2 emails. If you wanted to, you can make this longer, but just sends out 1 email. It waits 2 days and then sends out another email. But this right here can get you hundreds more reviews over the course of several months by just sending out, say, 50 people every week. 50 this week, 50 the next week, 50, so 200 a month. That should get you a steady stream and increase in the Google reviews that you actually get, as well as the new people that you're coming in. And what they're going to start seeing is, let's just say that they started at 50 reviews. Now they're going to, in the next week, they're going to be at 60, 65, then at 80, then at 100. They're going to just start seeing that number keep rise. They got hundreds. And now they're ranking higher on Google because they have more Google reviews. But really, the only thing that you need is to find your way in the door, if that makes sense. Maybe the website is a way to get in. Maybe AI services and solving the problem of not answering the phone is the right way. Maybe they're tired of not getting enough reviews and they want to get this automated. They're too busy trying to work and they just don't care about it. Not that they don't care. They just don't care enough to spend time on it throughout the day because they're either tired, they're working, they want to make money, because ultimately making money is how they stay in business. So hopefully you get the point. And if this all makes sense to you and you're looking to do this, I would say, please look at my free course below, take a look at it. The review automation is easily something that you can do. Now, let me just quickly talk about prices real quick. The website stuff I did mention, that's easily about $97, depending on how much you want to get involved and get really advanced. You can even push it up from $97 to $197 a month. If you're dealing with the voice AI services, that's a $500 to $700 a month service right there. So those are things that you can add. Google reviews, that's going to be, say, $200 to $300, $197, $297 a month for Google reviews. And again, you saw it's just a couple of workflow automations. You're going to set up the review AI, a few things, but once this is set up, it just works. And you don't have to go back to it. You can have a virtual assistant do this or somebody else do this, or you. There are ways of sending out more bulk email through HighLevel, but this right here is a way that you can stack these services together and make $500 to $1,000 a month per client, per customer, by simply helping them out with the services I've talked about, as well as getting them set up easily from what I've just shown you. And again, if you're looking to get signed up with HighLevel, use my link. You get all this stuff pre-built, and I give you a ton of stuff more that you don't even know you need. Anyway, I give you a bunch of different stuff, give you access to me to sit back and help you get everything started.